During the last few days, we have been gathering news and details about the new Ferrari Formula 1 single-seater for the 2025 championship. After previewing potential updates to the suspension and side pods, we can now reveal developments concerning the underbody and, particularly, the internal fluid dynamics of what is expected to be called the SF25, currently known within Ferrari's racing department as Project 677. The car's underbody is a key element for all single-seaters, especially in modern Formula 1, which relies on ground effect via venturi channels. 2025 will mark the final year of the current regulations, and by now, most teams have learned how to optimize the underbody aerodynamics and the downforce it generates to enhance performance. The days of porpoising troubling drivers on track and engineers in the wind tunnel are long gone. After facing some difficulties last summer, Ferrari introduced a final version of the underbody, which became the foundation for further evolutionary steps. The underbody set to debut on the new Ferrari car during its first shakedown at the Fiorano circuit, and the winter tests in Bahrain will feature a new specification with aerodynamic updates focused on the entry elements of the venturi channels. Some optimization work will also address the floor edges to generate vortex structures that better seal the car to the ground, consistent with advancements made last year. These modifications were necessary as a consequence of updates to the side pods, which we will review in the second part of the video. Unlike the car's underbody, its internal fluid dynamics is a less visible but highly critical aspect. Inspired by observations from rival teams last year, particularly Red Bull, Ferrari's technical team established a dedicated group to work on this crucial aspect of Project 677. The main goal was to minimize the intake area of the traditional side pods, both the horizontal opening and the vertical slot near the chassis, while relocating openings to other areas to cool auxiliary mini radiators. This may also lead to a redesign of the classic triangular engine air intake, a feature Ferrari has uniquely maintained for years with a compact cross-section. As of now, even though all components of Project 677 have been finalized, there is no confirmed information on the outcome of this work. We may need to wait a few more weeks, or perhaps until the first images of the new single-seater for Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, set to be unveiled on February 19th, the day of the official presentation. Just over a month before the official unveiling of the new Ferrari F1 2025, known as Project 677, let's also delve into the evolution of the side pods compared to the SF24. Likely to be named the SF25, this single-seater will be somewhat different from last year's model. Frederick Vasseur had hinted at this during a pre-Christmas press briefing, stating that the car would be 99% different. The team principal of Scuderia Ferrari may have intentionally exaggerated the percentage, but according to sources close to the Maranello team's technicians and engineers, there will indeed be numerous points of departure from the SF24. After discussing the main updates to the front and rear suspensions in a previous video, let's also focus on a technical analysis of the side pods of the new Ferrari F1 2025, aided by images highlighting details of last year's car. In this, we highlight the three main areas where the side pods of the new Ferrari F1 2025 will differ from the SF24. With point 1, we mark the most forward section of the side pods, specifically the upper eyelid that conceals the horizontal opening supplying air to the radiators. Inspired by Red Bull's design, this concept will be further pushed on the SF25. The upper section will be more pronounced with an inverted U-shaped profile, almost entirely concealing the opening. Despite its reduced size, adequate airflow for cooling all the car's radiating elements will be ensured through additional vents and openings placed elsewhere on the car. The other two areas engineers have worked on are points 2 and 3 in the image, aimed at reducing the vertical height of the side pods. This reduction in bulk has yielded significant aerodynamic efficiency gains, optimizing airflow toward the rear. The top view of the side pods on the SF24 clearly illustrates the aerodynamic flow optimization efforts. This aspect will be taken to an even greater extreme, with an intensified downwash effect aimed at maximizing aerodynamic load and enhancing the performance of both the rear wing and the diffuser. Lewis Hamilton's much-anticipated venture with Ferrari is edging closer, with his debut outing in red scheduled to take place at the squad's Fiorano test track later this month. The Briton cut short his long and illustrious association with Mercedes to make the move to Formula One's most storied team as he aims to end his career with a record 8th title. However, Ferrari is enduring its longest run without one, as it hasn't triumphed since scooping the constructors in 2008, coinciding with Hamilton's maiden championship. Unlike other F1 teams, Ferrari has a strong national identity, with widespread passionate support throughout Italy, and Lewis Hamilton's racing for Ferrari will draw nationwide attention. The Tifosi have taken Lewis Hamilton's teammate Charles Leclerc to heart since he arrived in Maranello in 2019, and the Monegasque's case was helped not only by winning at Monza during his debut season in red, but his proficiency in Italian, helping him adapt to the Ferrari culture. Despite showing progress under Frédéric Vasseur's guidance, Ferrari came up short again in 2024 as McLaren ended Red Bull and Mercedes' recent stranglehold. Charles Leclerc, though, is certain that access to the methodologies that have seen Hamilton take an unrivaled 105 victories will boost Ferrari's attempts to return to the pinnacle. The Monegasque admitted the external enthusiasm surrounding Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari chapter has been matched inside the team as preparations build towards the new season. But while he reiterated his desire to learn from the British driver, Charles Leclerc is eager to come out on top in the intra-team duel to ensure he is best placed to be Ferrari's next F1 champion. Charles Leclerc expressed his excitement, noting that the Maranello team was already highly motivated. The Monegasque driver remarked that having a 7-time champion join Ferrari represented one of the most significant moves in many years, which further boosted morale within the team. He mentioned that everyone felt proud to be part of such a historic moment and aimed to make it as successful as possible, particularly in a way that benefited Ferrari the most. Charles Leclerc also shared his personal aspirations, emphasizing his desire for the story to be not only successful but also meaningful to him. He spoke of his dream of becoming a Formula One world champion and how this development made the journey even more intriguing. The Ferrari man highlighted his excitement about learning from one of the best drivers, while also viewing it as an opportunity to demonstrate his own capabilities against such an extraordinary competitor. Charles Leclerc admitted that while he always strives to perform at his best, having Lewis Hamilton as a teammate provided an additional source of motivation. The Briton will hope that his switch proves as well-timed as his last, with his move to the Works Mercedes side in the 2013 championship being responsible for 6 of his 7 record-equaling Formula One titles. However, Lewis Hamilton goes into his Ferrari stint having experienced a taxing final campaign with the German marque that even prompted him to question his own speed. Lewis Hamilton's struggles at certain points with Mercedes' recalcitrant W15 single-seater witnessed him express that he underestimated how difficult his transition to the Maranello team would be. But while he has acknowledged the challenge ahead in adapting to a new environment again, Lewis Hamilton has emphasized he is as committed as ever to pursuing success.